بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وبعد. Before we enter into looking at the book of the great Imam Al-Imam Ibn Hibban Mashahir Ulama al-Amsar, we want to recap ikhwan the tabaqat of Al-Hafidh ibn Hajar. We mentioned the tabaqat of Hafidh ibn Hajar in terms of among the people of hadith are probably the most used method of categorizing or of grading the narrators in terms of time period. As we said previously, it is not the only method, but it is the most popular, the most widespread, and the one that is the most befitting that we acquaint ourselves with. These tabaqat and these levels are of great benefit, and with just a glance, a person, once he's familiar with the levels of the ruwat, with just a glance, مثلا at taqrib, he's able to know or able to perceive whether or not there's an inqita in the chain, a break within the chain, and between the narrators. And likewise, he's able first and foremost to look at where that narrator falls in terms of his closeness to the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and his being senior from among his peers or from the lesser people of knowledge and lesser people of hadith in his time. The tabaqat, then we said, of 12 levels, and as we mentioned, just to reiterate, the first level is the level of the Sahaba ridwanullahi alayhim. If you remember, ikhwan, as we said, if you just bear in mind that after the first tabaqa, after the first level, which is the tabaqa of the Sahaba, the following four tabaqat are the tabaqat of the Tabi'een. The four that follow them are the tabaqat of the Atba' Tabi'een. And the final three are the tabaqat of the A'imma who took from the Atba' Tabi'een. And so the first tabaqa, the first level is that of the Sahaba. 2 to 5 is that of the Tabi'een. 2 to 6 is that of the Tabi'een. 2 to 5. 2 to 5. 2 to 5. We're going to come back to it. 2 to 5. 6 to 9 Atba' Tabi'een, and then 10 to 12 those who took from the Atba' Tabi'een. To read the words of Hafidh ibn Hajar, he mentions الطبقة الأولى الصحابة على اختلاف مراتبهم. الصحابة على اختلاف مراتبهم, يعني those who met the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, believing in him and died upon that. And Ahl al-Ilm remove from that category those who saw the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam before tamyiz, before they reached the age of discernment. And then the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away before they came of age. So even though they may have seen the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were not considered Sahaba. But Hafidh ibn Hajar, he has some kalam and some speech in terms of the narration of such individuals. And he mentions that those who saw the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for example, there are some examples of those who were brought to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as babies. The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away before they came of age. And so Hafidh ibn Hajar mentions them among the Tabi'een, not among the companions. And so he'll mention lahu ru'ya. But the ru'ya that is considered, that is the sighting of the Messenger that is considered, is the sighting of an individual who's come of age. And so they don't consider the sighting of the child that hasn't come of age to be a sighting that considers him or causes him to be considered from among the companions. And then there is a passage wherein he mentions that they are companions in one sense, tabi'een in another. Yani that they're companions in a sense that they saw the Prophet ﷺ, or the Prophet saw them. But tabi'een as it relates to riwayah, and as it relates to the narration. So the main thing here is the affair of coming of age. Is the ru'ya, is the sighting of the one who saw the Prophet ﷺ before they came of age considered? Does it allow him to be considered among the companions? And generally the sani' and the doing of Hafidh ibn Hajar in Taqrib is that he'll mention lahu ru'ya, but he won't consider him, or doesn't refer to him as a sahabi. That when we see that lahu ru'ya, that he saw the Prophet ﷺ, what it ordinarily refers to is the one that was brought to the Messenger ﷺ, or he saw the Messenger as a child, but the Messenger ﷺ passed away before he came of age. Of course, as it relates to the affair of meeting the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, that is more precise, and for the one who is considered a companion, the affair of meeting the Messenger is more precise than seeing the Messenger. And you'll find many will say the companion is the one who saw the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he believed in him and died upon Iman, while it doesn't encompass those who were blind from among the companions of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who didn't see the Messenger but met him. So the first tabaqa in any case is that of the Sahaba with the differing levels. And he mentions that we make a difference between the one who is not from them, يعني من ليس له منهم إلا مجرد الرؤية من غيره. And so he categorizes them among them, but he doesn't consider them Sahaba in the absolute sense, in that the Prophet ﷺ passed away before they came of age. الثانية, the second, is the tabaqa of the kibar tabi'een. Reason we're reiterating it, ikhwan, is because when we do go into the narrators, we want to, when we hear that he's from the thalitha, and we don't want to be fiddling back and forward looking for the thalitha and trying to remember what it is. We want to try and acquaint ourselves with the levels as early as possible. So the second then is the tabaqa of the kibar tabi'een, the likes of Ibn al-Musayyib, Ibn al-Musayyib as he mentions. وَإِن كَانَ مُخَضْرَمًا صَرَحْتُ بِذَلِكَ. If he's a mukhadram, then I'll make that clear. If he's a mukhaddam, then I'll make that clear. Na'am, our study is of mashahir ulama al-amsar, but it's going to be closely coupled with a study of taqrib, or with the usage of taqrib and a return to taqrib. And so the two books, we're going to be looking at them hand in hand in essence. Now, the third, الثالثة, الطبقة الوسطى من التابعين كالحسن البصري وابن سيرين. That is the third. It is the medial level. The fourth, and after the medial level of the tabi'een like Hasan al-Basri and others, the fourth is the tabaqa taliha, is the level that follows that, which in essence is still considered from the medial level of the tabi'een. So if you look at the four levels of the tabi'een, we have the major tabi'een, two medial levels, and then one minor level. If that simplifies the affair somewhat. Four levels of tabi'een: major, two medium, medial, one minor. So the second, the major. Third, the medium, or the wusta. And the fourth, those who follow them. Those who the majority of their narrations have come from the kibar tabi'in, from the major tabi'in. Like Zuhri and Qatada. Qatada ibn Di'ama al-Sudusi, Imam al-Zuhri, Muhammad bin Muslim, ibn Ubaydillah ibn Abdullah ibn Shihab al-Zuhri. Al-Khamisa, he mentions Tabaqat al-Sughra. The fifth level are the minor, is the minor level, or the minor tabi'in. الذي رأوا الواحد والاثنين ولم يثبت لبعضهم السماع من الصحابة كالأعمش. So that the fifth level then, al-Khamisa, are the minor tabi'in, those who saw one or two of the companions, but generally they never narrated from them. And so they're tabi'in in the sense that they saw companions, or they met companions, but they are considered minor tabi'in in the sense that they didn't narrate from them. So we have the major level of tabi'in, who in essence were contemporaries of Sahaba, except they didn't meet the Prophet ﷺ, Sahaba did. We have the two medium levels, al-Wusta, and then those who are on a lesser level, slightly lesser than them, who the majority of their narrations are from tabi'in, major tabi'in. Then we have the minor tabi'in, and they are those who met one or two companions, but generally didn't narrate from any of them. Like Imam A'mash, Sulaiman ibn Mihran. So if we just take some time out firstly and look at those four. So far we've covered 5 levels. First of them, the companions. The second, Kibar Tabi'in. Third and fourth, the Wusta, the middle level. What's the difference between the third and the fourth? The fourth took the majority of the narrations from the Kibar Tabi'in, even though they all met companions. And then we have the minor Tabi'in, which is the 5th level, and they saw one or two companions, but the majority of the narrations are from Kibar, or from Tabi'in. Right. So if I said Fulan ibn Fulan is from al-Thaniya, Kibar Tabi'in. Fulan ibn Fulan is from al-Rabi'ah, Wusta, the second Wusta, the second medial level, which are those who the majority of their riwayat are from the Kibar Tabi'in. Even though they met companions and whatnot, the majority of their narration are from Kibar Tabi'in. طيب فلان ابن فلان is من الخامسة صغار تابعين. أحسنت. فلان ابن فلان من الثانية كبار تابعين. ممتاز. Then he goes on to mention rahimahullah ta'ala, as we mentioned, the following 4 are again أتباع التابعين. أتباع التابعين. He mentions rahimahullah ta'ala السادسة طبقة عاصر الخامسة. And oftentimes it causes confusion, this sadisa. They are a tabaqa that lived at the same time as the khamisa. If they lived at the same time as the khamisa, then what's the difference between them? Ahsant. That they were contemporaries of tabi'een, of the minor tabi'een, but the difference between them and the difference between the sadisa and the khamisa is that khamisa saw 1 or 2, sadisa saw none. So even though the contemporaries, those saw, those didn't see. similar, yeah, similar in that in terms of where they fell. Now, if you can imagine it, if some of the brothers here, um, مثلا مثلا, is anybody here not met Sheikh Ubaid? طيب, all right. So we have Abu Makkah, we have Mikael. Abu Makkah من الخامسة, Mikael من السادسة. If that makes any sense. If you look at it from that perspective. يعني they're contemporaries, similar time, similar age and what have you, except one saw, one didn't see. And that is, if you look at the kibar tabi'in, yani if you look at the thaniya, then you understand that the thaniya is a daraja rafi'a jiddan. It's a noble high station. Yani they just missed. But in terms of the era, in terms of where they were, in terms of what was happening, and they experienced, they lived the era. So they were alongside companions, they were alongside the people of knowledge from among them, but they just missed the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, so the Sadisa then are those who were contemporaries of the Khamisah. The Khamisah who? The fifth, Sigar Tabi'een. They were contemporaries of the Sigar Tabi'een, but they didn't see any companion. The Sabi'ah, كبار أتباع التابعين. نعم. mentions السابعة طبقة كبار أتباع التابعين كذلك كمالك والثوري. كبار التابعين like Imam Malik and Sufyan, أتباع التابعين عفوا, like Malik and Sufyan الثوري. الثامنة الوسطى من أتباع التابعين. نعم. كابن عيينة وابن عليا, إسماعيل بن عليا. والتاسعة الصغرى من أتباع التابعين كيزيد بن هارون. الصغرى من كبار من أتباع التابعين, من أتباع التابعين. So if you look at the four among the أتباع التابعين, which is from 6 to 9, if you look at them as each of them, the four categories, the first are contemporaries of the Sigar Tabi'een, the first. Then we have the Kibar Atba' Tabi'een, we have Wusta, and we have Sughra. Sahal. So how does the 6th and the 7th differ? We understand how the 5th and the 6th differ. How do the 6th and the 7th differ? They would have been limited, and not only that, but they're of a slightly different era. Of a slightly different era, slightly later. أيوة. أحسن. Whereas 5 and 6, of the same era. One saw the companion, one didn't. 6 and 7, again, tabi'i, atba' tabi'in, except these were contemporaries of tabi'in, while those were not contemporaries, they were a slightly later era. But they're still considered kibar atba' tabi'in. But those akbar. No. طيب, and so in the following 3, kibar, wusta, sughra. So with the atba' tabi'in, easier to remember. All you have to remember is that the top level are those who were contemporaries of the sigar tabi'in, and then the rest kibar, wusta, sigar. Major, medial, minor. And then the final three, the same breakdown. Major, medial, يعني كبرى وسطى صغرى. Just to يعني re-quote the statement of the kalam of Hafiz, he mentioned والعاشر ككبار الآخذين أن تبع الأتباع ممن لم يلقى التابعين. The 10th, the kibar of those who took from the atba' tabi'in but never ever met the tabi'in, like Imam Ahmad. 11, الطبقة الوسطى من ذلك, like الذهلي. الذهلي referring to Muhammad ibn Yahya and al-Bukhari. And then the 12th, صغار الآخذين أن تبع التابعين, تبع الأتباع, like الترمذي, like الترمذي. طيب, so if we said then he is from السابعة, كبار التابعين, ممتاز. He is from التاسعة, the 9th, صغار التابعين, أتباع التابعين. He is from العاشرة, كبار, لا, كبار of those who took from the أتباع التابعين, from those who took from the أتباع. Remember the last three are those who took from the أتباع التابعين. He is from the 11th, وسطى, أحسنت. He is from the 3rd, وسطى of the tabi'in. He is from the 8th, وسطى of the atba' tabi'in. He is from the 9th, صغرى أتباع tabi'in. He is from the 5th, صغار التابعين. 2nd, كبار التابعين. 8th, الوسطى من أتباع التابعين. طيب, if we have somebody then who is from the 9th, لحظة, somebody is from the 9th, and he took from someone from the 2nd. His riwayah is from someone from the 2nd. يمكن 9th from the 2nd. Directly from his narration comes in isnad. First one in isnad is thani, next one is 9th. طيب, who's the second first and foremost? كبار التابعين. And the 9th, صغار أتباع التابعين. Highly unlikely. Possible, but highly unlikely. More than likely there's inqita in that isnad. Not that come to mind. There are examples, but not that come to mind. Exactly. And it would be, I couldn't. That was a long beginning. No. So the main thing, Ikhwan, is just that we gain some familiarity with it. Because the Hafid, that's how he mentions it. يعني he'll mention من الثانية, من الثالثة, من الخامسة. And that we should try and acquaint ourselves with it. When we hear خامسة, على طول we're acquainted. طيب, there's another issue. Hafiz ibn Hajar mentions, and those are the rumuz. We want to try and mention them quickly um, before we continue. The rumuz are the symbols Hafiz ibn Hajar uses to refer to the ashab al-kutub, in fact the kitab of the Sahih Kutub Sitta. A note that is to be mentioned concerning tahdhib, with the tahdhib al-kamal, tahdhib al-tahdhib, and taqrib. Hafiz ibn Hajar, likewise al-Mizzi and Abdul Ghani al-Maqdisi, the narrators that are present within the silsila, or the tahdhib silsila, or the kamal silsila, they are not just the narrators, ikhwan, that occur in the kutub sitta. Rather, they are the rijal of the ashab al-kutub sitta. They are the narrators of the companions of the kutub sitta. And there is a difference between saying they are the narrators of the kutub sitta and they are the narrators of the companions of the kutub sitta. What's the difference? أيوة هذا هو, other than كتب الستة. So the أصحاب الكتب الستة, the companions of the كتب الستة, who are we talking about when we say the companions of the كتب الستة? Bukhari, Muslim, Abu Dawood, Nasa'i, Ibn Majah, Tirmidhi. They had authorships other than the كتب الستة themselves, and in those authorships they had narrators, asanid, that are not present in the كتب الستة. مثلا الإمام البخاري, from his authorships, خلق أفعال العباد. There are asanid narrations that are not present in Sahih al-Bukhari and don't reach the level of Sahih al-Bukhari in terms of Sihha and what have you. Imam Muslim مثلا has his tabaqat. Imam Bukhari مثلا has his Adab al-Mufrad. And so the other books, Imam al-Nasa'i has his tafsir. The other books, upon even though there's some khilaf as to whether it was originally from Sunan al-Kubra or it was a separate authorship. In any case, the other books of the Kutub al-Sitta, they all have rijal that are not present within the Kutub al-Sitta. And so Tahdhib al-Tahdhib and Tahdhib al-Kamal and Taqrib deal with the rijal of the ashab al-kutub al-sitta. That is, the narrators that were used by the companions of the kutub al-sitta, and the authors of the kutub al-sitta, even if that was outside of the kutub al-sitta themselves. And that is of benefit, ikhwan, because of course, if you come across a hadith مثلا in Adab al-Mufrad of Imam al-Bukhari, you're able to return back to Tahdhib for the rijal and for the sanad. So it is of benefit. نعم, Imam Ibn Hajar then he mentioned وقد اكتفيت بالرقم على أول اسم أو اسم كل راوي إشارة إلى من أخرج حديثه من الأئمة. فالبخاري في الصحيح خا. Bukhari, the rams for Bukhari, or the symbol for Bukhari in Sahih al-Bukhari is Kha. If the hadith was mentioned in Sahih al-Bukhari mu'allaqan, and in the mu'allaq is a reference to أيوة. أحسنت. It's in the book, it's not part of the Sahih. Like the mu'allaq is a hadith that a part of the beginning of the isnad is missing, or all of the isnad. And what is meant by the beginning of the isnad, aywa, from that part of the isnad is missing one narrator or more. And so if Imam al-Bukhari, he were to say, Thabit ibn Aslam al-Bunani mentioned that Anas ibn Malik said that the Prophet ﷺ said. The mushkila, Imam al-Bukhari didn't meet Thabit ibn Na'am. It sounds like there's a isnad, or at least some of the isnad. Imam Bukhari didn't meet Thabit ibn Aslam. And so there's a disconnect between Imam al-Bukhari and Thabit ibn Aslam al-Bunani. And so the hadith is mu'allaq. It is not from the asl of the Sahih. It's in Sahih al-Bukhari, but it's not from the asl of the kitab. It's not from the origin of the book. It's not part of what he intended from those ahadith al-Sahih. Good question. Why would, it's unfortunate there's only one brother asking the question. Why did Imam al-Bukhari then place his mu'allaqat within the book? Hafidh ibn Hajar, he discusses in Hadith Sari. Hadith Sari, ikhwan, is for anyone who wants to be familiar with Sahih al-Bukhari and everything that is related to Sahih al-Bukhari, its narrators, its asanid, its chains of narration, everything related to Sahih al-Bukhari. Imam Hafidh ibn Hajar wrote a whole volume in the beginning of Fath al-Bari that is referred to as Hadith Sari, which is an explanation of the manhaj and the methodology of Imam al-Bukhari in Sahih al-Bukhari. The first volume of Fath al-Bari is not an explanation of any of the ahadith. It is a breakdown of everything related to Imam al-Bukhari, his Sahih, his manhaj, his methodology within the book. But he discusses the affair of the mu'allaqat in Bukhari. Why would Imam al-Bukhari put them in there? He mentions that from the reasons is that sometimes the ahadith may be so popular that it doesn't require a mention of the isnad. It's so popular with Ahl al-Hadith, it doesn't require that he mentions the isnad. So mathalan, he may say, as the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. No isnad. And the hadith is so popular, it doesn't require that I mention the isnad. Really? إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. I have to mention the isnad of that for you? So sometimes you remove the isnad لشهرة الحديث. Hadith is that popular. Sometimes you would remove the isnad to indicate that this is not from my Sahih. I've mentioned the hadith now, and it may well even be authentic, but it is not from the book. If it were from the book, then it would be musnad, because the title of the book is Sahih الصحيح المختصر المسند من أيام النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأفعاله, also known as Sahih al-Bukhari. So he himself mentioned that it is mukhtasir, and likewise that it is musnad. And that is the name and the title of the book. So if you come across a hadith that is not musnad, and that there is a break in the chain that is not from the book, when Bukhari, he authored the book and called it musnad. And so he mentioned the hadith to highlight that it is relative to the chapter, but it is not from the book. Similarly, from the reasons that he mentioned the ahadith al-mu'allaqa is in order to bring a fa'idah fiqhiyya, or a fa'idah related to ma'na, or a fa'idah or benefit related to the explanation of the hadith. So there are various reasons Imam al-Bukhari mentioned the hadith al-mu'allaq, but he doesn't mention them with isnad for that reason, and to make it clear that this is not from the book. Hafid ibn Hajar, though, as part of and from his khidmah, his great khidmah to the sunnah, he authored a book dealing with each and every hadith mu'allaq in Sahih al-Bukhari. There are somewhere in the region of 130 odd hadith that are mu'allaq in Sahih al-Bukhari. And Imam al-Bukhari, Imam Mafwan ibn Hajar, he wrote his book Taghliq al-Ta'liq. Taghliq al-Ta'liq, which is a 5-volume book wherein he discusses each of the ahadith that are mu'allaq in Bukhari. And he mentions various versions of the chains of narration for those ahadith and mentions them in their full manner, and then he discusses whether they're authentic, hadith, sahih, hisan, and so on. In any case, if Imam al-Bukhari mentions a narrator and it is within the ahadith that are mu'allaq, and so it is not from the asl of the kitab, it is in those ahadith that are mu'allaq, then Imam Hafid ibn Hajar, he'll mention kha ta. So Bukhari is kha. Kha ta, but joined together, not separate. Khat is that which Imam al-Bukhari mentioned in his Sahih ta'liqan. As far as Adab al-Mufrad is concerned, then he mentions, anybody? Bukh, ba kha, bukh. That is in Adab al-Mufrad. So what if we have a hadith or a narrator that is in the Sahih, in one of the sound chains of narration, and it's also in Adab al-Mufrad? طيب, we set up for homework. If we have a hadith, the narrator is in Bukhari, in his Sahih, and it's in Adab al-Mufrad, how would Hafid ibn Hajar mention, what rams will he use? Will he use one of them? Will he use both of them? Does he only deal with one, the strongest of the two, the weakest of the two? What will he do? Homework. Try and get to the bottom of that if you can. As far as khalq af'al al-ibad of Imam al-Bukhari, then he uses aq. خلق أفعال العباد. عين خاء. In his book جزء القراءة خلف الإمام, Imam al-Bukhari has a book around reciting behind the Imam called جزء القراءة خلف الإمام. And the rams that he uses in it, for it, that is the rams that Hafid uses to represent it, زاي, but zad, za. Not baz. or zakh, zay bas. Huh? Have you got Ryan yours? Yeah, it's generally zay. Juz. طيب in his book رفع اليدين, there's a book about around رفع اليدين. ايش رأيك؟ ها. Yeah, raising hands. He's got a small, relatively small book around that. ها. ايش رأيك؟ رفع اليدين. يعني it's generally related to the title. Oi, watch your mouth. رفع اليدين. ها. ويراء. Okay. No, it would generally be one or two letters. Generally, one of the letters will return back to Bukhari himself, and the other letter will return back to the book. As far as Raf al-Yatain though is concerned, then it's one letter and it's Ya. خليك بكرة تستعجل. طيب, moving on to Muslim. Of course, Muslim is? Huh? Yeah, no, it's Sahih. That wasn't a question. Sahih Muslim, Mim. Bas, Mim. Abu Dawood, Dal. Abu Dawood, Dal. In the Marasil of Abu Dawood, Imam Abu Dawood has a book around the Mursal Hadith. The Marasil of Abu Dawood. أحسنت. مد. أحسنت. Similarly, he has a book around the Fadail of the Ansar. Mim Dal is the Marasil of Abu Dawood. Marasil, the Jam of Mursal. In the Fadail al-Ansar. Anybody? Huh? Alright. فضائل الأنصار. صد صاد دال. No. Similarly, he has a nasikh and mansukh. He has a nasikh and mansukh. ها. خد. What about قدر؟ قد. نعم. القدر. خد. ناسخ. قدر عفوا. قدر نعم. طيب, in his book التفرد فاء. التفرد تاء فاء راء دال. التفرد. He likewise has مسائل. فا بس. after التفرد مسائل. المسائل. قدر. قدر في أبو داود. المسائل لام. تاء. تفرد. تاء تاء فاء راء دال. تفرد. تفرد تفردا. أو فالتفرد إيش قلت؟ فاء. one literal. just فاء. just فاء by itself. مسائل لام بس. He likewise has a مسند مالك. مسند مالك. مسند مالك. مسند مالك. كد. كد. نعم. طيب الإمام الترمذي من السنن تاء. مالك was كد. He has a book. There's a book around his just riwayat from Malik. No. أحسنت. نعم. So الترمذي تاء. إمام الترمذي likewise has الشمائل المحمدية which I believe is translated now. شمائل المحمدية the رمز. شمائل. تم. تاء ميم. تم. طيب سنن النسائي. سين. أحسنت. سين. سين. He likewise has a مسند علي. إمام النسائي has a مسند علي. The Rams being عس. نعم. تم. The other way around. ترمذي الشمائل. تم. I mean, sometimes it would appear that the harams was likewise placed to be easy to remember. So tam, khad, kad, yani is in terms of the construction of lugha, that's more warid and easier to remember now. Did you catch the Musnad Ali of Nasa'i? As. He likewise has a Musnad Malik. Nasa'i as well. So, which make you know that Imam Malik alayhi midar al-asanid, as we mentioned. Asanid revolved around Malik at one period. And he was from those who lived, يعني عايش علماء المدينة, took from the A'imma of Hadith in Medina, and was from the last of those who يعني existed, who had the hadith that he had. And so the dunya would travel to Malik to take from Malik. And so the midar al-asani revolve around Malik in many instances. Find an isnad and it returns back to Malik. Musnad Malik, anybody? Oh, we've had a mass here. Anybody else? Or kas? Anybody else? Huh? Huh? أحسنت. كن الله أعلم. الله أعلم. كن is كن. Why it changed from sin to noon? Allah أعلم. Yeah, but the rams for Nasa'i is sin. No. So he's thinking Nasa'i and rams. Yeah, each letter is rams. Plural rumuz, which just means symbol. No, rams is singular. Its plural is rumuz. Rumuz. And as I say, it just means a symbol. To Medina. One man? Hadith. It doesn't mention Malik, but they mention that it's. ننظر فيه ننظر فيه. نعم. ايش اللي بعد؟ نعم ابن ماجه. Anybody? ها؟ قاف احسنت. Why قاف؟ Oh. At least you're honest. Yeah. Ibn Majah, his name was Qazwini. Al-Qazwini. Qazwini. Qaf is a tribe. And the tafsir is tafsir. Huh? Fa qaf. Fa qaf. Even that. Both ways is a mushkila. نعم. If all six of the kutub sitta narrate, or he occurs, and that is a narrator, occurs in all six of the kutub sitta, he mentions ayn, which means or which represents, why ayn? Just the letter ayn. Close. الجماعة. الجماعة يعني كتب الستة. No, we've now reached the cut-off point. Yeah, no, in some books there are some slight differences, and some it returns back to the author in some books that he may have a different manner of, but generally you'll find this being relatively consistent. come back. We're coming to it now. Say again. Of who? He'll tell you afterwards. طيب, with that being said, إخوان, Hafid ibn Hajar, then we open Taqrib, we're looking for a narrator, we come across the narrator, we find Hafid mentioning Dal, Ta, Sin, ثقة ثبت من السادسة. أبو داود ترمذي سين نسائي ثقة ثبت من ثقة ثبت. أيوة مراتب. So in terms of his martaba, then really is from the Rijal of the Sahihain, is in that level. طيب, بعدين من السادسة. عاصروا, those that were contemporaries of the minor tabi'in. أحسن. طيب. Another narrator, Muhammad ibn Ibrahim ibn Fulan, تا قاف ثقة من الرابعة. ترمذي Ibn Majah ثقة. So he's on the third level of in terms of جرح التعديل. أيوة, from the رابعة. الوسطى الثانية. نعم. Which, and they are, anybody remember? Those who أمثال الزهري, and those who generally narrated from the Kibar al-Tabi'in. They met companions, but the bulk of the narration from Kibar al-Tabi'in. طيب. Imam al-Bukhari, Imam Ibn Hajar, then we look and open narrator, we come across a narrator, we find قد خد تا سين صدوق له أوهام من العاشرة. We have قد خد, لحظة, قد خد تا سين صدوق له أوهام من العاشرة. خد قد خد. ناسك منسوخ فهو. أحسنت. أيوة صدوق له أوهام, which is fifth in terms of جرب مرتبة, and the عاشرة is who? Which أئمة? minor, major, minor, وسطى, كبار أئمة who took from أتباع التابعين. ممتاز. أحسنتم. مثل أحمد. نعم. طيب. طيب. Looking up a narrator, we come across ثقة حافظ فقيه. لحظة. ثقة حافظ فقيه. وش إمام أحمد. ثقة حافظ فقيه من الرابعة. طيب, من الثامنة. أيوة which is لا ثامن الوسطى من أتباع التابعين. أحسنت وسطى. طيب. yeah second, still second, still second. طيب. Come across a narrator, he mentions قاف أخ أخ لحظة لا هون the print's a bit print's a bit blurred. He mentions طيب أخ, he mentions تم, and he mentions fa, and then he mentions concerning him مقبول من التاسعة. ها؟ اوكي. فسو مسقافنا خلف على العباد. شمائل المحمدية أحسنت. التفرد نعم. مقبول 6. ها؟ Everybody agree with that. نائب صغار أتباع تابعين. ها؟ طيب. Another narrator mentions لام فا قد فا قاف صدوق لا رمي بالكذب No, I mean this is just hypothetical because it wouldn't be in many of these books. Anyway, رمي بالكذب من السابعة. أحسنت. تفرد أبو داود. قاف أيوة. رمي بالكذب which is 11. أيوة. and he's from السابعة. كبار. طيب. I mean, put it to practice. Boom. يقول رحمه الله تعالى سعد بن عياض الثمالي الكوفي صدوق من الثانية وله رواية مرسلة مات بأرض روم خاء دال تم سين. من الثانية. أيوة. لا، خط. أحسن. دال. تم شمال محمدية. سين نسائي. ممتاز. صرتم محدثون أنتم ما شاء الله. طيب، من عندنا؟ طيب، سلم ابن أبي ذيال، عجلان، البصرة، ثقة قليل الحديث، من السابعة، له في مسلم حديث واحد. بخ ميم دال. again. سلم ابن أبي ذيال، البصري، ثقة قليل الحديث. ثالثة، من السابعة، أتباع التابعين، وله في مسلم حديث واحد. and then بخ ميم دال. ممتاز. ميم and then دال. طيب، سميط ابن عمير، ويقال ابن سمير، السدوسي البصري، أبو عبد الله، صدوق، من الثالثة. بخ ميم سين قاف. أيوة، تابعين. ميم سين قاف. ممتاز. طيب، شريد الثقفي. شريد الثقفي، صحابي، شهد بيعة الرضوان، قيل كان اسمه مالكا. بخ ميم دال تم سين قاف. قاف. ممتاز. ممتاز، أحسنت. طيب، طيب، عبد الله ابن عميرة ابن حسن العجلي، خلطه ابن حبان الذي قبله وفرقهما غيره، وقد ينسب هذا إلى جده. تمييز. تمييز. ايش التمييز؟ لا، ايوه. امام ابن حجر in تهذيب and in تقريب, he will mention a narrator after a narrator that has the exact same name, just to make a differentiation between him and this one, so you don't get confused. It's one of the benefits of tahdhib al-tahdhib. He adds tamyiz, those narrators that have the exact same name, but they're someone else. No, no, no. He'll have narrations of riwayat, but just to make a difference between him and him. You do see him and you know أيوة, because that one's Basri, this one's Kufi مثلا. أي yeah, if element الاختلاف. No, 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 no. ابن حبان خلطه. ابن حبان لما ذكره خلطه بمن قبله. He confused the two. All right, one more. طيب. عبد القدوس بن محمد ابن عبد الكبير ابن شعيب ابن حبحاب العطار البصري، صدوق، من الحادية عشرة. صدوق from the 11th. خاء تاء سين قاف. From no, 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 no. The, oh, let me try something. Let me test you on something else. Let me test you on something else. I forgot all about this now. طيب. عبد الوارث ابن عبد الصمد ابن عبد الوارث أبو عبده، صدوق، من الحادية عشرة. صدوق from the 11th. مات سنة 52. He died in the year 52. Again, عبد الوارث ابن عبد الصمد ابن عبد الوارث أبو عبده، صدوق، من الحادية عشرة. مات سنة 52. He died in the year 52. ها؟ إيه؟ لا هذه عشرة. Exactly. We took from that about Tabi'in. And we said they were all after 200. They were all after 200. So died 52 meaning 252. No. Yeah. Died 52. جيد ممتاز. Yeah. 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 Because he's the Rams Mim Ta Sin Qaf. But of course, when those rumuz don't mean that the shuyukh, they're just found in anywhere in the, oh yeah, but he was because it's naqsullah. طيب. There are one or two other rumuz that we probably mention as we go along. From them, مثلا حاميم حاميم for Imam Ahmad in his Musnad. From them, حابا for Imam Ibn Hibban. صحيح. ابن حبان حابا. From them, الإمام الطبراني in his معجم الكبير طاء باء. طاء باء. No. Okay. طاء. وجنرالي ما شاء الله جيد يا اخوان صراحة. خاء ميم. أحسنتم يا اخوان. For the other rumuz, if you return back to the beginning of Sahih Jami' al-Saghir, there's a nice list of rumuz that you don't have, and we'll probably bring it tomorrow and we'll add it to the list that you have today. Make isti'ab of the list that you have today in Jami' al-Saghir. In the beginning of Jami' al-Saghir is a list of the other rumuz. So what we'll do is we'll run up on that note, inshallah. That was a nice, I believe, a nice and necessary introduction to a beginning of the book. Sarahatan, if I'm honest, I don't know which approach to use with mashahir. Because in essence, the idea is to familiarize ourselves with the ruwat within the book. And we're looking at 1,600 narrators. We could meticulously study the book and it would take us the best part of a year. You can go for a few hundred, you're still on companions. Or we can do it in list form. Yani that we mention who they are, you are familiar with their names. We mention a fa'ida here, a fa'ida there. We mention, for those other than the companions, the kalam of Hafiz bin Hajar in Taqrib. يعني صدوق من السادسة صدوق من الثالثة and so on. And wherever able, something of the Tariq al-Wafayat, the date of their death. Secondly, as far as the geographical approach is concerned, then Imam Ibn Hibban himself, his approach is that he categorizes the book into three categories. The first portion, first third of the book, if you like, is around the companions. Second is about the tabi'een. Third, that's about tabi'een. Then within each section, he categorizes them into cities. So the companions, Mecca, Medina, Mecca, Kufa, Basra, Yemen, Sham, or regions rather than cities. Sham, Khurasan. Similarly, when it comes to tabi'een, same. Medina, Mecca, Kufa, Basra, Yemen, Sham, and so on. What I believe would be a better approach in terms of our reading from the book, and a better manner of making isti'ab and encompassing what is present within the book, is if we approach it from the point of view of the region and discuss everyone in one region and then move on to the next region. So start with Medina, discuss the Sahaba, Tabi'een, Atba' Tabi'een of Medina, and then move on to Mecca, move on to each, and in accordance with the ordering that he's placed in the book. But instead of dealing with Sahaba from Medina, Sahaba from Mecca, Sahaba from, deal with each city, Sahaba, Tabi'een, Atba' Tabi'een. Second city, Sahaba, Tabi'een, Atba' Tabi'een. And I think that would be better in encompassing the Imma of Hadith within that region. I'll bring in that kalam wherever possible.
Is it where where they're from, or where they live?
Ahsant. I will mention it tomorrow, but where they moved to, where they were majorly resident. And so where ilm was spread in, yani where their ilm was spread, even if they died somewhere else. And as I say, wherever possible, we'll bring in the kalam. The reason I brought the whole of Tahdhib al-Tahdhib is from time to time, particularly once we hit the Tabi'un, Atba' al-Tabi'un, there will be some narrators that we may need to return back to some more detailed kalam concerning them. And so rather than playing about, I just brought Tahdhib al-Tahdhib. And so when these duru's are over, I'll put it back in the library. But for now, yani, we'll have to store it somewhere secure. Because it's a rare gem that you can't really. This print now is difficult to find. And again, Ikhwan, it's a sad reality because it indicates the times that we're living in. You struggle to find Tahdhib al-Tahdhib. You can find various prints, but this is the mu'tamad. This is the print that's relied upon. مثلا when we read here مثلا تهذيب الكلمات تهذيب التهذيب such and such is this print. Ahmed, you say Ahmed? No. Yeah, it's classic. So, I mean, hopefully, Juan, hopefully we prepare for it. We know though that we're dealing with lists of narrators. Yani, we could go the long route and speak about the biography of each one of them, or a little bit about the biography of each one of them, but that would be long, very long. I think if we just acquaint ourselves with Fa'ida here, Fa'ida there, who he is, Min al-Sadisa, Tiqa, and so on, died in the year such and such, and it will be a resource that we can return back to when it comes to Rijal. And as I said, the whole reason for this was because of the fact that we, in Sahih Muslim, in our reading through Sahih Muslim, and we're reading Asanid. And so rather than letting those Asanid pass without really taking the benefit, the more we're acquainted with the Rijal, and then we read those Kutub of Hadith, we'll benefit straight away. The last and final point, Mashahir Ulama al-Amsar, al-Imam Ibn Hibban intended by it to collect the Ulama al-Thiqat. So, adatan, ordinarily, we're not dealing with du'afa in this book. From the authorships of Ahl al-Ilm are those books that revolve around thiqat, those books that revolve around the du'afa, and then those books that revolve around the mukhtalafun fihim, like Mizan al-I'tidal, Lisan al-Mizan. Those books deal with those narrators who the scholars differ about. Mashahir Ulama al-Amsar generally deals with thiqat. Though Ibn Hibban sometimes will mention a narrator that has issues, but the order of the day is that these are thiqat, so Sahaba, and then thiqat from Tabi'in, Atba' Tabi'in. But the benefit that you do get with studying a book of thiqat is, number one, you'll benefit when you read any of the Sahihain, Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, with familiarity with the narrators. And number two, when you read anything outside of the Sahihain, straight away you develop a sense and a skill for detecting a weak narrator. Particularly if there's an issue with the hadith, it doesn't read as the riwayat of the thiqat read. And then among these thiqat, there's an individual that you're not familiar with. Not to say that we're muhaddithun and straight away we know who do. Lakin, you do develop a malaka for sensing that there's a problem with the narrator or somebody in the chain is problematic because you're familiar with the thiqat. So by the time we finish Sahih Muslim, finish Sahih Bukhari, oh, أهل الحديث. يلا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب